So effective altruism is basically applying the scientific method and evidence and analysis to the whole concept of charity. It's about sort of looking at the world. You know, the world has a gazillion problems. A lot of them are very, very bad, but some are easier to solve than others. Some are cheaper to solve than others, and so there are some sort of actions that we can take that are more effective than others in reducing suffering or increasing net happiness in the world. And effective altruism is basically about identifying what are those methods of improving the world as quickly as possible and as effectively as possible. So within the community, there are sort of teams of analysts looking at these problems and figuring out the best interventions, the best charities that are out there. And then raising awareness of it. Picking a charity is tough, and the things to look for, I guess to start with, is the cause area in itself neglected? There's countless different problems in the world, and some of them are far more researched or receive a lot more funding than others. And similarly, there are some problems that are actually but there's just a ton more room for funding where your money can make a very big difference. So that's the first thing to look for if it's neglected. Next thing is the charity that you're going to donate for giving you the maximum bang for your buck? Will it help the most people with per dollar that's donated? Another thing to look for is the problem. Are the results that it's likely to generate measurable? Because if we can't measure what the charity is doing, well, then we just don't really know how effective it is. So yeah, those are some sort of key indicators to look for. Also, is the charity transparent? Now, not all charities that aren't completely transparent doesn't mean that they're necessarily bad, but at the same time, if they're doing very sort of actionable, positive things, then they should be able to demonstrate that clearly. So yeah, those are sort of the 4 key points I'd look for. Since starting to play poker about 10 years ago, I've been so fortunate with my results and the opportunities that I've been given through it. But after a while, I started realizing, well, I should probably be doing something else with this. Is there a way I can continue playing the game that I love, but also have a more positive impact on the world? And at the same time, some friends and I met some effective altruists who wanted to sort of chat to us about, how we, could we fundraise through the industry? And after they sort of explained to me how effective altruism works, how some charities are just hundreds of times more effective than others, and it was the arguments were just so compelling. I was like, okay, how do we get involved? How do we do this? So we decided to create an organisation that fundraises for these charities called Raising for Effective Giving. Raising because there's like play on words there with, that's what you do in poker. And so yeah, we started this organisation 2.5 years ago, and we fundraise for about 8 or so highly effective charities across a number of different cause areas. We have some that are direct suffering alleviation. Most of those are in the sort of poverty sphere. We fundraise for similarly, the most effective animal charities and a couple of research organisations that are looking into potential existential risks that are likely to, hopefully unlikely to happen, but if they do happen, could be so catastrophic, and they're very sort of under-researched right now. So we have quite a broad spectrum of charities that we raise for, but all of them are either highly effective or projected to be very effective. We started it 2.5 years ago. So far, we've raised just over $2 million through the poker industry for these charities, and it's been an amazing learning experience.